Okay, here's a podcast. It's true. What you think about? It? The effective. This is what it's going to be about. It's going to be about the effective waves of the effective waves of anime and the causation and effects of podcast syndrome, which comes from the high mountain peaks of the Everest level and the tangents that we usually are able to cosine, and the percentage level when it goes up the slope. You look back in the day, for safety reasons, you have on a jersey, and it's kind of a lack of comprehension toward the grouping of people that usually would be wrestling. And I'm a little bit frustrated that I wasn't able to put one of my podcasts says something about some copyright bullshit, and that's very important, is that the copyright part of it is it's not bullshit. The copyright is very important. People have ideas in this world. This is a material world. You can feel however you want. I feel, actually free from the situation, and also I feel legitimate about it. And that's, going to bring me back to one of my great points about geometry and thankfulness for balding, and why that sensation is sort of fixated on from the groupings, the castings that we see in the outer realms, the outer sections. And that's what brings us together. We can all sit up on stage together and calm down. And, when we have our eyes on the crowds out there, it's kind of like Woodstock. And at Woodstock, that's where they were presenting so much for the crowds and the causes and the effects of gravity and the fixation on gravity. And when the gravity level, when you bring it down from skyscraper level at kind of a Rugrats, or if you think about it at another type of pace, it's Rampage, then we'll be on the same page about that. We look at the paperwork, we're studying the Bible. Where are we at here? It's more like a calendar. You're able to write from 1 to 31, and you see on the lines, it's just kind of like, this is fucking incredible. And you go for a drive, you realize that the island and the states are much larger than you ever thought that they would ever be. And it's sick, dude, because when you think about me in that kind of way, you're misrepresenting the ogre, the red-eyed ogre that we know of. It has on, a hieroglyphic helmet. It's protection. You shut up. Okay? You shut up. And it's a real, sexy kind of thing. Not to bring this down into, a place of flooding and, plumbing, where you have to kind of free yourself from handcuffs, or you lock your handcuffs to the pipe. As Leonardo DiCaprio, excellent actor, he understood very much the causation of financial bounds, and this the invocation, and that's where his focus is it's so heavily focused. He has to lean outward toward the scripts, and where the crypt is oftentimes the question that appears, and that's where you remember Mr. Candyland Man. It wasn't a horror movie, as you know, and you get kind of a sensation of lactation, and it's probation. And I know you like all those shins. Reminds me of one of my favorite Street Fighter characters, actually, and very related, is M. Bison, who happens to be Major Bison, used to be named Vega, and that was short for Sega. And Sega comes from Genesis, times of the Bible. It's biblical, actually, and the Bible had a lot to say about, the intertwinings of Adam, Eve, a snake, and then there's also like fake snakes on a tree, and that's you kind of take a look at that. It's fucking anger, and then it's at a Nintendo level, very obvious for you to be able to pick out. Apples much better than snakes. We don't usually eat snakes unless you are a snake eater. And there you go. That's where the volcanic ash type of video represents itself from a standpoint of primordial sea and oceanic cable. When you have to hoist the sails, you're holding on to the lines, you're riding on a jet ski. It's just so much damn fun, and we're all smiling. We're all smiling together. We're all laughing. We're all vacating the premises of ultimate lightings. And a flashlight, can be conducted in the same way that Silent Hill's main character would walk down the stairs, or not really walk down the stairs, but go into a bar and, be able to manage the items before, something insane decides to fly in. It's thought up from a toddler or something, and that thing just flies around. There's nothing you can really do about it unless you have some type of handgun or a weapon of sorts that you're able to recover. And that's for those who are most focused into more of a residential type of area that are interested in the evils of mankind and humankind that you often find in a lot of documentaries. And that's where, at this point, you're going to have to pay for much more information than that. And when you open yourselves and open your eyes to the realization that you're currently in a main menu, then you're able to really start, not necessarily the game, but you're able to start your lives on a course where we can actually be useful to each other. There's something that irritates me about you, and I don't know what it is. And it's kind of like there's a weird friction, and it might be maybe the representation or the appearance, maybe the voice, maybe the the way you look from the outside. And we subside that for the sake of piracy of the Caribbeans, and that is one of the amazing treasure lives that we live together as kind of an octopus beard, and that's where we fly together as one, as eagles and hawks and pigeons, silhouettes of bird, fly toward the sunlight, toward the sun itself. You realize it, you know the truth. Ed Harris, and Ed Harris knows you from a very general point of view in the gulag, but just from the facial expression, from the facial recognition. And, very special eyes on you. It's something to take pride in a way, and we just go ahead and collapse the cards from there. Shut down the programs, the office, take a left, straight forward, or from my point of view, it's more like just, where we play with cars on the floor or something. You know what I mean? We play with cars on the floor level. Something that keeps us interested, something that keeps us entertained, and Superman on the television. and trains, cars, Godzilla, aliens, something we run away from, go back to our rooms, and we're just like, geez, that's some, you know what I'm trying to say. Frosties, ice creams, and just put the cherry on top. Really good friends from New York, all across the country. No heathens that have relocated from Barcelona, and Section 8 from Section 9. So just go ahead and, take what you will from it. And no will, or will, and, Seville, just run dream space, and the open meadows, farming, and the hedgerows and the rows of vegetables and fruits. It's like a cobblestone path that you're able to build around it, like a rectangular fashion. And that's what keeps everything so fresh. And all of you are now just absolutely, intertwined with theater life and theater love. And thank you so much for being a part of my podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas in 2021. As you know, we man up and we move forward. And women are also very, very, just, tap the drums. Fingertips, hands, palms, face down. You get what I'm trying to say. Yeah. We take it from there and play that electrical violin. Love yourselves. Beautiful feelings, beautiful campfires and campfire trips, and thank you so much. So from here, we got it from here, and islands and whatnot. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Okay. Anyways, huh?